right now.
All
Thank
right.
you. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Recording. All right. Hello, everyone. We'll start. Um, welcome to SMIC. This is the first week of the semester. I hope everyone is having a great start to their semester, and thank you all for joining today. The SMIC team will be giving you all an overview about the SMIC program, including what is Bronco Asset Management, which we like to call BAM. And we'll be talking about SMIC's mission and goals this semester, and also what we have to offer to all of our members. So before we do any of that, we'll be giving a short introduction to the SMIC team. So I'll be starting. I'm just going to give you a little overview. So many of you may or may not know me, but my name is Allegra Rosa, and I'm currently a senior majoring in finance, real estate law, emphasizing in contract management and minoring in marketing. And I am this year's SMIC president, where I was also part of the fall 2020 SMIC class, where we won our second consecutive win. And I'm very honored to be part of that team. And one of the many things that I learned from SMIC was truly understanding the process of a portfolio and what goes into a portfolio, and the side of managing a portfolio, and other things as well, such as, using the Bloomberg terminal and, performing a market or stock analysis. And just a quick 2 facts about me is something that I like to do is, on my free time is going to the gym and swimming. I used to be a swim coach for a club team. So awesome. I'll be passing it over to the vice president here, Andrew.
Super. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Andrew Brands, current vice president of SMIC. And also you'll be hearing from me a little bit later because now I'm co-MD of the Bronco Asset Management. And I, along with Allegra and a couple others in this call today, we were a part of that fall 2020 team that took that first place at the CFAOC portfolio pitch competition. But neither here nor there, I think it's important to, kind of see like, hey, why did I want to join? Why are we all here? And, I think it's very unique of all these e-board members you see here is we're here to, kind of promote this idea of financial literacy. And we're trying to drive that home to you and kind of make this like probably one of the most, valuable clubs on campus if you're looking for a finance specific degree and enter in the industry in finance. So just know that, we are hardwired to deliver that to you through all the mediums that the media outlets that we're going to use today and we're going to talk about. And, I'm just excited to be here and kind of work hard in your favor. So, welcome. And I'm excited that, we got a lot of people in the current SMIC class and a lot of new faces too. And we're looking forward to seeing you throughout the rest of the year. So, and then I think we could pass it on to maybe Brian Arciniega. He was the founder of SMIC about, I think, maybe a year and a half ago before most of us were here. So I think we'll pass it off to this guy.
Thanks, Andrew. Very excited to not have to host these anymore, just because I was able to pass on the role to this great new e-board. Great question in the chat. I'll just answer that real quick because it kind of ties into me. You do not have to be a business major. I'm actually a computer engineer major, but extremely passionate about finance and this club and the people that I work with here. So I think we welcome all the people that can bring different perspectives because I think that's one of the strengths of the programs as well. So yeah, I think we're really excited for what this semester has in store for all of us. The possibility of going back to campus, the possibility of seeing all you guys in person. So great job. This new executive board has some great events for you guys. and really excited just for the SMIC program as well, since they'll be competing. Yeah, as you can see, I got a kind of a new title. So transitioning into like a more formal role of assisting the program, so the SMIC program. If you don't know the difference between SMIC and SMIC, hopefully we will answer that for you. But thank you guys all for being here, and we're really excited for this semester.
I'm going to pass it on to another old face here, which is Jacob Zaldivar. He's been around for probably as long as Brian has. Jacob.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Yeah, so as Andrew said, I've been a part of SMIC now since fall 2019, and I joined SMIC around the same time Brian did, when Brian first started his team for kind of our rebranding of SMIC, and yeah, it's been a great experience. I know we have some really cool things planned. We're excited. I'm currently in my last semester right now at Cal Poly. I'm double majoring in finance and accounting, and excited to be here with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. I'll pass it over to Cam.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So really excited to be here. We have a great crew. We've been putting together a lot of different workshops and events, stuff that really gives you the advantage to grow. I've been with SMIC for about maybe 2 semesters now, and I'm part of the current SMIC class, where there's a lot of people in this course or in this club meeting right now who are also currently part of that. So this is going to be a great resource for you to be able to learn and grow. If you're not part of SMIC, it's also going to be a great resource for you to get to know a little bit about the financial markets, a little bit about trying to value stocks. And past that, it's just a really great group of people to grow and learn around. So excited to be working with all of you.
Thank you, Cam. I'll pass it over to Joy now to introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Joy, and I'm also part of the SMIC for, I guess, 2 semesters now, and I'm currently also on the fall 2021 SMIC team. Very excited to see you guys.
Joy over here is also the Finance Society president. So if you have any questions in regards to that, feel free to reach out to her. She's part of SMIC as well.
Also collabs, just because we have this unique opportunity to have 2 big presidents on the same club. So it's going to be an interesting collab between the 2. So yeah, and I think we can also introduce 2 of the newer members too, which is Sanika and Victor, or Diego. If you guys want to introduce yourselves too, maybe Sanika go first.
Yeah, sure. Hi guys, my name is Sanika. I am a FRL major, emphasis in finance. I am a 4th year, just like a few of you on this call today. I'm also part of the SMIC Fall 2021 class as well. And I see a lot of familiar faces on this call, so I'm really happy to see you guys. Other than that, I'm also on the e-board for REA and also the e-board on UBSS. So if you have any questions about any clubs, you can always come to me and I can answer as many questions as I can. Other than that, I'm really excited to be here, really excited to be part of SMIC and see what else I can learn. And yeah, it's great seeing you all.
Hello, everyone. I'm Victor. But I do prefer to go by my middle name, Diego. I don't mind either. This is my 2nd semester with SMIC, and I have to say that SMIC has really boosted my academic presence and how I feel confident, like in terms of my confidence in the business field, because I feel like I'm getting ahead and learning a lot more than I would have just going through classes. I'm currently a 4th year finance major and currently in the current SMIC program. I'm excited to learn how to create and manage a portfolio effectively and efficiently. And very, very excited for everything that we have presented for you guys, because we've been working very hard this whole summer to rebrand and get SMIC to the next level so that we can be a big force on campus.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. So, going back. I do want to say, sorry, I was muted, but I do want to say a big shout out to the team as well for working consistently over the summer on all the projects and events that we'll be having this semester. So thank you guys again. All right, moving on to what is the Student Managed Investment Club. So SMIC exists to support Cal Poly Pomona's role in the investment and finance industry through regional competitions, hosting guest speakers, and networking events. And one thing we're very proud of here at SMIC is that we provide workshops based on fundamental security analysis and portfolio theory. And many of the workshops that are executed are from our very own board members and past alumni. So we have student experts here. And our mission is to promote campus-wide financial literacy by providing the knowledge to understanding the essentials of investing basics and personal finance. So touching on these 4 points that we see on the slide deck is that we host workshops to support our mission. And some examples of tutorials are security analysis, economic analysis, Bloomberg tutorials, special events. I see a comment here about, do we talk about crypto? We had in the spring semester, we had a crypto workshop hosted by a graduate CPP student, very, very knowledgeable about blockchain and crypto, and that was great. And we'll be most definitely having crypto on this semester of events. Going on to the market competition events, we give support to the CPP Smith team on the annual CFAOC portfolio competition, which will be held this December. Mind you, CPP has won 2 times in a row, so we're very proud of that title, and we're hoping to continue our wins. We also have the annual Institute Research Competition. It's called the IRC Challenge, held by the CFAOC as well, which we give support on that. Many of the members that worked on the last IRC are part of the SMIC board. And then SMIC is also hosting its very own competition, which we'll be giving more details later throughout this PowerPoint. And then going into the supporting the SMIC program. So SMIC works directly with the university's Student Managed Investment Fund, many of you guys heard, by providing managerial and educational support. And our managing director, Andrew, will be discussing this more in depth. And lastly, our guest speakers, we host a variety. So we have industry speakers, CFAs, CFPs. We have Cal Poly professors research. Last semester, we had Orlando speak about the credit crisis. And we have a new one coming up this semester as well. And we also like to bring Cal Poly alumni, just so you guys get that perspective. Awesome. So I'll be passing it over to Victor to go over SMIC's social presence.
Before we get any further, I do want to put in the sign-in sheet, so I'll put that in the chat. It's a Google form. Feel free to just put everything in, enter all the information so that we can see who came to visit us today. But yeah, we've been working very tirelessly on the rebranding, like I said earlier. So our Instagram is popping now. It's looking a lot better. Thank you, Allegra and Sonica. You can scan it here on your phone on the camera to get to our link tree. Our link tree will connect you to our Instagram, our LinkedIn, our Slack, which is the best way to communicate with us. It connects you to our My Bar. And if you can't access the QR code, I'll put the link in the chat as well for the link tree. It's linktree/SMIC. It's pretty simple, really easy. So yeah, that's our socials. Give us a follow, give us likes. And then we also have SMIC's new website that we're very, very proud to present to you guys. We've been working on this for a very long time, and it's so good for it to be out. It's cppsmic.com. And here you can keep up with all our information, the news, events. Like we mentioned earlier, the Bronco Asset Management, that's where you'll see a lot of our updates and our quarterly performances. We'll get into that more later in the presentation, as well as a new SMIC Plus portal. We're gonna have the ability for you to make an account on this website, be able to track anything coming up for SMIC Plus, as well as being able to buy merch. We're gonna be releasing new shirts and maybe some new merch like hats, but we're in the works for all of that.
Thank you, Victor. Just to add on to that, like we do have more exciting things to add to the website, but so far a lot of it's built out. We have all of BAM's research reports. If you are a SMIC Plus member, which I'll go into details, you have login access where you can go watch our past recordings, our industry job postings, and et cetera, et cetera. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up to add to the website. All right, moving on to schedule of events, where Seneca will take over to present this.
All right, guys. So I hope you all are excited for this semester. I think we were all talking about how this specific semester is like chock filled with exciting events and things that we're going to have for. So some of the things that we're doing are like workshops. So if you can look, like we're doing next week an economic outlook and indicators workshop. There's going to be more in the future. We have guest speakers such as Jake Abbott, an investment strategist, in September 7th. We're going to also have some Bloomberg terminal tutorials, not Blackboard. And so that's basically, like, if you guys don't know what Bloomberg is, it is a online database, or a specific database that has basically all economic information in the world in a nice, easy to look place. And so we're going to show you how to do Bloomberg screeners, like how do you screen for stocks and equities. We're in the future, we're going to have a SMIF CFA OC mock run where the SMIF team is going to just have a quick run through of what we're going to present for the CFA OC investment competition. And then we have some industry panels, such as the past president of CFA OC, Mary Siegler, is going to come in the next few weeks to talk about her experience at CFA OC and some other opportunities that are open for us. So I hope you guys stay tuned and keep joining these calls with us.
Thank you, Seneca. I'm going to be speaking a little bit about SMIC Plus, and I'll be speaking more about our premium membership throughout our general meetings, but just an overview of what we have to offer. We're looking to have custom SMIC merchandise where you'll have your SMIC shirts, and we're working on having your favorite ticker under the logo. So we should be rolling that out sometime October, November. And SMIC Plus members get that first access. And then another perk that we will be having is industry and job postings. A lot of our alumni and contacts. We do have a lot of contacts with the CFAOC. We know many job opportunities that are out there relating to finance. And so we'll be posting those on our special SMIC Plus channel on Slack. We'll be also having volunteering postings for the CFAOC. And this was great. One of our past SMIC alumni was just graduated, volunteered for a CFAOC event, and has landed a job in an asset management firm in Irvine.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's amazing.
That really speaks to how valuable those events are. It's just like, you just literally just networking with somebody.
Network.
And, they're like, oh, we kind of like your character. You go in for an interview. And I think she ended up talking with him for like 3 hours, like, hey, you're a perfect fit for us. She's like, hey, look, I don't know as much as, all these other people around me. They're like, look, it's half the battle, just who you are as a person. So, and I talk a lot, especially to the current Smith class. I was like, hey, we all have imposter syndrome at some point in time. It's like, just, do I really, kind of belong here? I feel like I'm totally out of place, but, with these kind of support roles that, we want to have and our previous alumni have with us, is like, we're trying to ease that, like, hey, it's okay, just take it step by step, and, we're going to help you along the way. So, yeah, I think Allegra went over the SMIC plus here pretty well. We're trying here. This is our best attempt to give the biggest value add for all of our this is kind of like our membership due, if you want to be, kind of unlock this. There's no membership dues. This is just kind of like that next step is like, hey, how much more do you want to be connected with the club in terms of getting all these cool little kind of add-ons to it too, plus all the merch and stoles and what have you. So
Exactly. So great networking opportunities here, and we'll be giving more information out after. So moving on, our managing director and vice president, Andrew, will be speaking on Smith.
Yeah. Oh, that's also a good point, Brian. 100% of the profits go to the club. We don't pocket a dime of it. It goes 100% back from the program and what we do. So there's a lot of BAM analysts on this call too. And this I think is the biggest kind of like gray area for a lot of people who are coming in from outside of the program. It's like, what is Smith? What is SMIC? What is Bronco Asset Management? Aren't they all the same thing? So here I kind of try to outline it very, very clearly. And, at the top here, you see, hey, look, it's broken up into 3 different things. You have the club, you have the class, and then you also have the fund. And, I kind of wanted to view this as a little bit like a step-by-step progression here. So, starting with the club, hey, that's why we're here. This is what this exact meeting is here to do. That's where we promote that student education, that financial literacy that we've been talking about. That's where we host these industry professors, gets you exposed to the industry. We're going to talk about the fundamental security analysis, not so much about the technical stuff or any of those momentum swing trading strategies, because technically they don't really make sense. But hey, near here nor there, if you're successful, keep doing it. You're making money. Awesome. So I like to break it down to kind of like our mission and our goal too in SMIC, right? That's where we promote that financial literacy, and our goal in the end is to kind of give you the investing basics of personal finance. So, this is where kind of like the starting point. Every single person is welcome into SMIC, no matter what, no matter what college you're in, no matter what degree path you're trying to have. Come on in. We love to have you. We love to have you learn with us. So that next step is kind of like, hey, the SMIF class, the Student Managed Investment Fund class, or FRL 4990, is a 2-semester class where you first build the portfolio, and that second semester is actually where you enter the management. Right? You build this portfolio. It's that applied portfolio management course. You learn about that portfolio theory. You go through all these different sub bullets here of, global economic assessment, capital market projection, portfolio optimization, you name it. We're kind of all doing that within the class, and that's with Professor Pawan Tamkoria and also Dr. Wei Wu. I'm sure some of you guys have him in some classes here too. But, that's when, we're talking about, the CFAOC competition. This is the class where you actually go to that competition. You create a portfolio and you present it to them. You say, hey, guys, what do you guys think about our investment strategy? Do you like that we're choosing a growth strategy this semester for the next year ahead? Do you like that we're doing a value strategy, a momentum strategy? Do you like that we're choosing this bunch of ETFs or this, basket of specific equities? And that's when they say, yeah, we really like that. I think we want to have you as our, management firm to manage our money for a year. So, we got the opportunity this past semester to actually have that. We pitched our portfolio, which we did all those sub bullets in the middle here. We went through every single one of those and nitpicked it and made an RFP or a request for proposal. They said, hey, we really like Cal Poly Pomona Bronco Asset Management. These guys, we want them to manage our money. So that's what we're doing right now. And that's where kind of my role comes in as MD to kind of facilitate, the management process, right? So that's kind of the segue into the last element on the right hand side here, which is BAM, right? This is the fund. It's all 100% students and alumni of the program, right? Because it's a year-long program. If you graduate in fall, you still, you're still going to be in BAM, whether you graduate or not. It's not like, oh, you graduate, you're done. We work directly with the client, and actually Jake Abbott, one of our guest speakers, is actually the trader for the CFAOC. We send him our trades in. We send him our what actions we want the portfolio to do, and he says, okay, we like this. He's technically our client, right? So, every single week, and we have them every Tuesday evening, we have portfolio meetings, right? That's where we're going to assess the global, what the economy is doing, what the capital markets are doing. That's when we're going to make sure that we're sticking to a strategy that we told them we're going to do, right? You don't want your investment manager just switching strategies all over the place, because, that wouldn't be very effective. And that's not what you agreed upon, right? So a lot of what we do in BAM is just trying to stick to the strategy, keep the client informed, and make them some money. So right now we have two different portfolios. One is a CFA, and the other one's actually the Cal Poly Pomona fund. And by the end of the year, the current class, not May, the current class is going to be managing well over $500,000, which is an outrageous amount of money if you think about it as a student. So it's a great opportunity, and I'm really like, I don't know, you can feel like how I'm just like freaking, feels good. It feels good to talk about it, promote it to everybody, to show you what kind of amazing opportunity that we got going on here. So I think we can go to the next slide, and I can tell you a little bit more.
I could just speak really briefly on this in terms of the scale of difficulty for each one. Obviously, I think for most of us, BAM is extremely exciting. It's the one where you get to buy and sell stocks, right? But you have to compete to get there and to manage that money for the CFA. So if you don't feel like you know how to buy and sell and analyze a stock or any other type of security, maybe if we go to the previous slide, then feel free to go into the SMIC class, where you have to really know a little bit about investing in the markets, right? Yeah. And you get to learn more about how to analyze a security, and also how to build out a portfolio. If you don't think you're even there yet, because that's a pretty big level and a lot of knowledge that you already have. If you don't feel like you know how to build a portfolio, if you don't feel like you really know how to value or analyze the security, then that's where we come in, where we start. Basically, we pride ourselves in being open, to the public, and trying to meet everyone where they're at. So if you don't feel like you're at the SMIC level, like ready to apply to SMIC yet, join SMIC. We will walk you through it, and we will hopefully get you prepared, ready to apply to SMIC. And then after you go through SMIC and learn how to build that portfolio, then you can get into BAM and do the buying and the selling and the analyzing. So just want to speak to how each one has different levels of difficulty, and you can kind of pick and choose where you think you're ready at. But I think SMIC is the perfect entry way.
Yeah, totally agree. So yeah, we can go to the next slide, and we can kind of deep dive it. And as Brian said, it's like, you don't have to know how to do all these things right off the bat. And anybody in SMIC will tell you, you go in thinking so much, and you come out even more developed in your thinking and kind of the capital markets and the economic, and how we approach econ analysis too. So like Brian said, with the amount of communication we have with the client, in the top right hand corner here, you see that we have all of our kind of, over the course of this year, you have January, February, March, April, May. These are the kind of up-to-date communications that we have in the client in terms of monthly reports and also quarterly reports. So we make sure that our monthly reports are just checking in with the client, saying, hey, this is where your money's at right now. This is what we're invested in. This is our economic outlook. This is what we think about what's going on in the market, and what is driving the performance in the portfolio, either up or down, right? It doesn't matter what it is. We just want to be straightforward and clear with them, just because it's their money, right? And it's our job to manage it well and not lose it for them. So we make sure the monthly reports are pretty brief. and the quarterly reports are more, a bigger deep dive into, portfolio analysis really. And we're actually coming up on the end of our management term here. There you go. So, on the left-hand side, that's our performance against a benchmark as of the second quarter, the second quarter. So the first half of the year, we were providing very closely with the benchmark and outperforming at a good majority of it. But, with recent volatility, given, inflation and, the upcoming Jackson Hole meeting with the Fed, it started to slip a little bit. So we'll be definitely diving in. We'll probably have a quarterly update for a SMIC meeting sometime, so you guys can see more along the lines of what we do in BAM. So, I think, another cool thing too is, we're analyzing 35 different securities, right? It's a well-diversified portfolio, and we chose this portfolio based on, very stringent, a stock screener, and also our new kind of developed BAM 13 metrics to say, hey, do we like the stock that much? And it'll kind of spit it out and say, yes, it's well worth it to look into. So there's so many different, approaches that we can do in Bronco Asset Management. And it's a great experience. And I encourage you guys to kind of, whether, if you're graduating very soon, you're not going to get a chance to go in BAM, you're still going to get a lot of exposure through to BAM through SMIC. So, it's definitely great to hang around and kind of pick up what we're doing in there as well. And I think we might have a quarterly call coming up. We're going to try to set something up where we're kind of maybe even invite the client into the call, and they can ask us questions about the portfolio and, what our market, outlook is for the rest of the year. So there's a lot to come for sure.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll go on to the CVP stock pitch challenge, where Cam will be presenting this side.
Thanks, Allegra. Yeah, so if you were anything like I was 2 years ago, you just listened to everything that Andrew said and thought, wow, that sounds really cool. That sounds like the direction I want to head. So how do I get there? Because I didn't really have a lot of knowledge coming in as a transfer student to Cal Poly. And the stock pitching competition or challenge addresses exactly that. And the idea of the SBC is build your literacy, prove it by presenting it, and then win a title, which is essentially, if you get into the top 3, you're going to win a prize up to $100. So who are we looking for when we want people to join the SBC? We're looking for truly anybody with an interest in researching stocks and understanding the market. Like, why do people put money into stocks? What's the purpose of looking at economics, and what's the purpose of diving into the financials of a company rather than just putting your money in and hoping that it goes up? So we're hoping that current SMIF members will join most of all, but anybody else who has that deep yearning to learn should also join and try to present. Basically, participation includes being guided by those past mentors, people who have spent years learning about this stuff and who currently work with Bronco Asset Management and on the SMIF teams. And they're going to help you pick out a stock, select the best ones from a group of their peers, and then build out the type of models that allow you to value this stock and truly get a knowledge of what makes one stock better than another. Then you conduct some research on that. You'll do economic research to get to know the market. You'll also do research on the company, understand its description and what the company does, the products that it offers, and a little bit more about the ethics of the company and how they govern it. And then after that, you write a research report. This is entirely you, but we give you a template so you're able to go through and understand the types of things that you have to add in, but you're also getting the knowledge yourself of everything that you've learned, put down on paper, and then put down onto a slide deck presentation wise, so you can actually give this information to somebody else. So we're hoping that you register by August 31st when the registration opens up to September 21st. Once that registration closes, we'll have people working on the SBC. You can submit your reports by November 2nd. So you'll have roughly about a month and a half to work on that. And then the top 3 are going to present to the judges on November 9th. We're really hoping that you guys join. This is a great way to build up your financial literacy. It's also a great way to get to know different types of the market. And it's one of the finer parts of SMIC where you truly get the opportunity to work. And Jacob Salvador, the person who will be presenting next, is going to have a little bit more information on case analyses and how we can work on those. So I'll pass it off to him.
Thanks, Cam. Yeah, so this semester we're trying to do like investment case studies for anybody interested. This is something new that we're starting. So ideally, we're going to have 4 to 8 case studies for our participants to go over. We're going to be looking at different styles of investors, from Fisher, who's a growth guy, to, Warren Buffett, as we all know, is, heavy on value. And the really cool thing about this is that it's going to be very informational and educational. We're going to be looking at historical ideas and past investments and see how they kind of played out. And, in the end, were they a good investment? And if they were, why were they a good investment? And I think this is, if you don't feel confident going into the stock pitch competition and you want to just try to get a more broad understanding of, maybe I want to be a growth investor or value or, both, this will be a great way to kind of see how other guys have thought about investing and then why they've made those investment decisions. And so we're aiming to, make these interactive. So it's not just teaching. We want you guys to work with us through these case studies. And we're excited. So hopefully we're definitely going to get some good ones for you guys, and it'll be an exciting thing that we can bring to SMIC this semester. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jacob. All right.
All right, so after you guys have heard about who we are and what we do, so here's a chance for you to join us if you're interested. So we're looking for currently a junior or senior and someone who's team focused and eager to learn. So we have 2 positions open so far right now. So we have a vice president of finance, which is a treasurer. We really want someone who's a junior for this position, and also a webmaster. So if you're interested, feel free to apply. I'll send the form in the chat here. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I think a very cool thing about, these opportunities, especially on the e-board too, is, building it is most of the battle, and then presenting it and, helping relay that is kind of like, the benefit, because you're also spreading with other people too. So, connecting with industry members, like we have to facilitate that. And, I know a couple people here have had, corporate finance roles before, and, organizing a club and being part of e-board is extremely similar to kind of the corporate America type deal. So it's kind of like a taste of exactly, what you're going to see when you kind of do enter the job force, because it's a lot of, hoops, because we do have to deal with ASI and all that. And also working with your team members, creating a product, making sure presentation's ready. It's absolutely worth it. And of course, you'll get a lot of exposure to, the current, e-board members, BAM students, and a lot of the club members too. So absolutely. Thanks, Joy.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it, Victor.
Because it might seem intimidating, in my opinion, when you see that list of what you have to do for SMIC. But I think this program does a lot to try to make it easier and more appealing, and try to introduce people to these new concepts, to these new ideas and stuff, trying to learn more. And it's more like a family. I feel like I said, this is only my 2nd semester, and I took the risk and I applied to be on the e-board, and I'm director of communications now, and I enjoy it so much. It pushes you to do more, to try more, to learn more. And like I said, it's more like a family. So everyone's around, whether it's the alumni or current SMIC or people in SMIC e-board, we're all together to help each other learn and spread financial literacy. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you're not very comfortable with business terminology or all those different concepts, this is the place for you to grow. I love the concept that it's not only for people who are in business. I think it's so interesting how I run into some Smith alumni who were engineers, and like having different talks with them, because there's always different perspectives on things. So I really encourage you to reach out and talk to some of us, talk to me. I'm always around. Apply for these positions, try the SPC, because trust me, it changes the way you think, it changes what you want out of college. I met Professor Tom Koya, which is like the person who kind of runs this, or the professor who's on top of this. And yeah, at the time I didn't know what I was doing in business. I didn't know where I wanted to go. And he introduced me to this club and to the program. And now I feel like I got the ball rolling, that I'm doing something more with this college experience, like connections, meeting new friends, meeting a new family. So I highly recommend trying to be as involved as possible into this program. It's a new program, but it's going to be really, really big for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are all great points. And I know a lot of us can speak to that. I personally can too. Sophomore year in college, you should know what you want to do, when you graduate. At least that's the expectation from a lot of people. And, you're kind of put in a place like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm just working towards a, pointless degree, and I'll just pick up a job after, I guess, I don't know. But this kind of gives you some kind of direction on, hey, at least bottom line, it'll tell you what you don't want to do. But likely otherwise. And, we work with the FRL department faculty chair, and she's got a lot of SPAM students and SMIC members, a lot of awesome job opportunities. And, it's all about the connection. It's all about that family. It's all about that kind of network that we're trying to build here. And I really appreciate you kind of sharing that with us, Victor. Sure. So I guess at the end here, we would love to kind of, open it up to everybody in the call and just say, hey, if you have any questions for any of us, on the board here, we'd love it. And it's funny, Allegra is actually at work right now, so she had a little emergency call she had to go to, so she let us know, like, hey, can you take over real quick? But any of us, we definitely want to open up to any kind of question you have, whether it be, hey, I'm a freshman right now, or hey, I'm a senior right now. What are my options here? We love to answer any of those questions too. Maybe even about content, or maybe some of the board members, if you guys have any kind of like closing comments you want to make, I think we can do that here as well.
I could actually add something to what Diego was saying. Like, if you guys remember at the beginning about Andrew talking about, imposter syndrome, I used to feel that so much in freshman and sophomore year, and it was really hard for me to join clubs and just be a part of a lot of things. And now it's my senior year, and I can definitely say, like, SMIC and SMIF have really changed my outlook on what a team can truly be. I've known only some of the SMIF members who are a part of here for a few months. I've been working with SMIC for like this whole summer, but I truly feel like, this is like a group that you can rely on, and you'll definitely be in great hands. And like Andrew said, a lot of important connections come out of this. Like, I definitely see myself keeping in contact with everyone after I graduate, and keeping up with them and just talking to them. And, it's a great community. Like, I feel truly loved in this group and at SMIF too. So hands down recommend joining. And even if you don't know much, don't hesitate to join SMIF, because the worst thing that'll happen is they'll say no. Nothing else is going to happen. No one is going to know that you applied and what your outcome was unless you tell people. So there's nothing really to lose in applying to SMIC or SMIF.
Absolutely. So there was a comment I got about there was a comment in the chat about, hey, I'm a junior, can I apply? And if there's any sophomores on the call here today too, it's absolutely welcome. I think that was we're only looking for a junior, just so this kind of like junior or younger, I guess, in terms of your kind of your degree progress, just so we can have more longevity in the position. That's all. We're definitely not discriminating as whatever you're senior, sophomore, freshman. No, just absolutely apply. Like Sanika said, you got nothing to lose here. So, all right. Any questions? Brian put in some the sign-in sheet, into the chat. also the eBoard application. Hey, you want to join on SMIC Plus? You want to join our general Slack channel, get connected with any of us, ask any questions you might have after the chat or after the call ends. Let's see. Yeah. So Michael, yeah, you can see Jacob's a little, he was quick to it. Yeah, they're in preferred qualifications. For webmaster position, no, there's no previous qualifications that you need for the webmaster position. Again, we would love to, people to be interested in kind of like the long-term kind of well-being of the club. So if you want to definitely stick around and want to have, if you have a passion for what, our mission and goal is at Cal Poly, I guess that's the secondary, qualification too. There you go. Yeah. All right. So any other questions? Now we can close it out. How do you apply for the SMIC class? Great question. Now Brian's the assistant.
Why
director
don't we
for
get
SMIC, so if you want to talk about that, Brian.
Well, I was going to pass it on to the people that just applied to Smith. So,
Sure.
Cameron, why don't you go?
Yeah, I can take that. So the FRL department usually sends out an application to the entire CBA student listing. So everybody gets a shot to join this thing. Just make sure to check your email. The current Smith class is going to run up until the end of fall. So there should be another opening for the spring semester when the next team moves on. When that application comes out, it's really good to have a lot of experience in SMIC. It also really helps your application if you study beforehand. So network around with some of the alumni, get to know what the role entails and how you can best approach trying to join. And once you get all of that knowledge, you'll be fine. You just go in, you tell them about, it's basically like a job interview, really cool. You get to know Tom Correa and what he's done for the Smith class. And when you talk to all of the alumni, they'll help you out with everything else that you need to know. Definitely join the SBC, definitely go into those case analyses and get to know a little bit more about pitching stocks.
Right, and then just the new change to the program is we're now only accepting applications in the fall. So, sorry, applications in the spring for the fall class, because it is now a 2-semester program.
Yeah, which is something that a lot of the alums here didn't have. So, the Smith will count for 2 kind of those elective courses in finance. So, if you join Smith, technically, it'd be easier to do a double major because you only have to focus on Smith related things for, 2 semesters, and there's not much whiplash that you might get. So that's a big benefit. If you want to pick up a minor too, that'd be also really a great way to do it too, if you're looking at it, of course, of, your degree progress. This fall semester, you get 3 units for FRL 4990. And then the next semester after that, in the spring, you'll be in the 4611, which is the senior project class. And that's basically just BAM meetings, right? That's just portfolio monitoring. That's what a lot of us are doing right now, just, kind of volunteering in a sense. So it's definitely an awesome opportunity. So I see a couple more questions in here. Are there any prerequisites for the Smith class? And Tony says yes. FRL 3000 is a prereq. That's the bare minimum. It's just one class. Know the basic, the fundamentals of finance, and of course, you don't have to have a job beforehand or anything. A couple years of experience. No, you don't need any of that. Just Cameron also mentioned. Definitely be interested in finance and the industry, because you're going to spend a lot of time doing it, and it's a year-long course. So you're going to definitely want to have a passion for the finance industry too. Elizabeth says, if we don't get in for Smith in fall, can we apply for spring? So they're no longer doing spring, so now it's a full year-long program. Basically, you apply in fall, you build the portfolio in fall, and then you start managing January through December. And then,
Right.
during the tail end of that, that's when the next, SMIC class comes through. So
Yeah, and then the other question is, aside from FRL 3000, what else are they looking for? And I want to pass this one on to either Victor or Sanika. What else do you think that they look for?
Well, for me, and I think Victor or Diego can attest to this, is that we don't really have a lot of background in FRL just because we are just starting to get into the nitty-gritty of the bigger, harder classes. And so I thought I botched my my interview, and I actually called Andrew and I was like, Andrew, I think I failed this. I'm not gonna get in. And he's like, don't worry, trust me, you will. And the thing is that they really look for character. They look for hardworking, driven people. Even if you don't answer a question that is something super related to markets and everything about what SMIF is about, if you show that you're driven and you show that you are dedicated to learning that in the program, that is just as good as knowing every single answer knowing the answer to every single question they throw at you. So I think that's one thing for sure. Just, if you're dedicated, show that you're dedicated. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to show that you are willing to work for that position, basically.
Yeah, great point. Great point. We were all in that shoes. It's just like, oh my gosh, I totally failed that. I don't know what I was talking about, but a hard worker is worth, way more than somebody who knows everything, to begin with. And, because it's a team. You have to be part of a team. It's not a solo thing. We can all build our portfolios on Fidelity and Schwab as much as we want, but you're not going to get that experience of working with a team and networking with people. So, so I think we can close it out here. I know people might have 1 o'clock classes, or you got to go to work, or
Can I add one more thing?
Dude,
because we're talking about staying in contact with us and talking to alumni. I just want to emphasize all of this will happen on our Slack. It'll be in the link tree. So that'll be the best way to contact either anybody on the executive board, alumni are there. If you just want to talk to random people, there's literally a random section where you can talk about anything you want in the Slack. So yeah, join the Slack. That'll be the best way to message us, keep in contact with us. That's where a lot of SMIC Plus stuff is going to be put on as well. So join our Slack. That'll be the best way to keep up with everything coming out from SMIC.
Absolutely. And everybody in here, definitely 1000% stay tuned. It's this club is not just for SMIF. It is for legit econ analysis, legit applied learning that you're doing in your finance classes, in your econ classes, any of those things. So definitely stay tuned. This is not just directly intended for SMIF students. That's why we're trying to make this club a jack of all trades. Like, hey, let's get you some nice exposure to everything. Let's do this. Let's pump you out right and get you ready for a career in finance. So I guess with that, I think we can end it here. Definitely appreciate everyone for joining in. Join the Slack. Scan this thing for real. Scan it. You'll see everything. And then we can definitely get contact.
Needed to add one more thing. Going back on the thing of what Jacob said, where tell your friends, there is a UBSS club fair for all business clubs on campus. And so if any of your friends are interested, we'll probably post it on our story on Instagram. And you can always email us for that stuff or look at UBSS page on Instagram. But yeah, it's just a Zoom meeting. You don't have to come to campus, and you just have to sign in with your CPE email, and they can ask us all the questions that they need to as during that time, basically.
Absolutely.
So yeah, please come.
Yes. Great point. All right. Looking forward to connecting with a lot of you in here. If you're interested in anything we talked about, hit us up. You know where to find us. Come on. Look at this. You know where to find us. So thanks again, and have a great start to your semester. And there you go. See you guys.